ABC Action News starts right now with breaking news.
Good evening, everyone. I'm John Sable. We start that tonight with breaking news here.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Isabel Rosales. Tampa Police swarming to Nebraska Avenue. That's where we're hearing an incident involving a HART bus has shut down the road.
ABC Action News reporter Heather Lee is live on the scene with details tonight. Heather, what's the latest?
Well, John, this is still a very, very active scene. We have been actively calling to try and get those details confirmed. But you can see this is the scene right here. This is off Nebraska Avenue between Linebaugh and Lotus, and some other roads are also blocked off. But really, you can see all lanes here are blocked off with heavy police presence. You can see that HART bus off in the distance. We're being told by officials that bus is involved in this incident. And I have been speaking to several witnesses out here who believe and say that the bus driver was injured. We don't know the extent of those injuries at this point. Now, we also want to let you know there seems to be two scenes in this situation. The scene here on Nebraska Road and then also a scene over on I-275. While we were driving in, we saw all of the southbound lanes near the Bush Boulevard exit blocked off as well. And another witness said that they saw somebody running from this area over towards I-275. So all of these details, again, are things that we are trying to confirm. We are hearing that there will be a press conference or some information coming from the Tampa Police Department pretty soon here. So we're going to stand by for that. And I also did reach out to HART to see if they had any additional information or if they can confirm that the driver was involved in this incident and if the driver was injured. Of course, again, once we get all these details, we will bring them to you right away. For now, we're live. Heather Lee, ABC Action News.
To that breaking news, witnesses tell us the HART bus driver injured. We're going to go live right out there right now where Tampa Police is conducting a press conference.
A HART bus that was heading southbound. Suddenly, one of the passengers on the bus stabbed the bus driver. We don't know exactly what provoked that sort of thing, but he stabbed the bus driver. The person who stabbed the bus driver got off of the bus. Based on a description from a witness, we saw someone fitting that description. We approached that person. That person fled from police, headed west from here toward the interstate. We were able to apprehend him on the side of the northbound lanes of the interstate. So we have someone in custody. At this point, that person has been charged with resisting arrest. He has not directly been charged in the stabbing, but we think that we have our suspect in custody.
And how is the bus driver doing?
The bus driver. This is a fatal stabbing. We have this is a fatal stabbing. The bus driver he succumbed to his injuries.
ABC Action News reporter Heather Lee is live at Nebraska Avenue. And Heather, police are currently interviewing the man they believe did this.
That is what they are telling us tonight. We also spoke with witnesses who say they saw a man running from that bus, hopping fences even, heading towards I-275 to get away from this scene. But police were able to catch up with that man within minutes. Now, I want you to take a look at this scene. It is still very active. Even 7 hours later, you can see this bus is still out here. And right now, they are sifting through evidence before charging that man officially. But the big question is, why did he do this?
With the HART bus still running, the Tampa Police Department spent hours collecting evidence, hoping to explain why a passenger would stab the driver in the neck.
It's crazy. The thought of that is just insane.
Emma Miller just moved to Tampa and says she takes route number 400 all the time with her 9-month-old son to sightsee and learn the area.
If that had happened while I was on the bus with my child, I wouldn't even have known what to do. Where can you run?
She said all of the bus drivers she interacts with are extremely kind and willing to help.
I feel sorry for his family. Just the thought, he just came to work that day to make a living for his family, and now he won't be able to make it home because somebody took his life.
Tampa Police calling the case truly unusual, saying a passenger got into a verbal argument with the driver before stabbing him. A witness telling us the bus coasted to a stop, and that's when the passenger jumped off and ran down side streets towards I-275. Police caught him within minutes.
You know you're being recorded, plus it's other people on the bus. Why would he think that he'd be able to get away?
Miller says what happened is a tragedy and doesn't plan on riding the bus anytime soon after what happened.
Now, HART officials sent a statement after learning the news, saying in part, quote, "We are devastated by the tragic events that took place today involving our HART bus operator. We offer our thoughts and prayers to the family and friends of the bus operator, as well as to all of our HART colleagues." Now, they are continuing to help police out in this investigation, and they do plan on handing over, if there is bus video, if there's security video, that's going to be a really big key part of the evidence here, and they do plan on handing that over to police to again assist in this investigation.
The man accused of stabbing a HART bus driver is now officially charged with murder. And on New Tonight, we're learning that bus driver spoke about safety concerns to board members a few months ago. ABC Action News reporter Heather Lee has been going through that video. And Heather, what did he say?
He told them a story about being assaulted on his bus before, a woman spitting in his face and hurting his arm. He says he called it in and it was caught on video, but claimed nothing happened. We confirmed with Thomas Dunn's wife just a few hours ago. This is him talking to Hillsborough County Transit Authority board members 5 months ago. He is the same bus driver that was killed yesterday after Tampa Police say 35-year-old Justin Ryan McGriff stabbed him in the neck. Dunn's wife told us this afternoon off camera how heartbroken she is and that their kids are now without a father to take care of them. She also told us she heard from someone who watched the security footage on that bus that even after being stabbed, Dunn followed protocol, safely pulling the bus to the side of the road, protecting other passengers on board.
It's easy to me, admin is taking care of admin and not taking care of the spokes in the wheel that actually make this company work.
We reached out to HART about this meeting and the safety concerns Dunn expressed back in December. We're waiting to hear back from them, but they are expected to talk with media at 6:30. Meanwhile, people in the community have made a memorial out here for Dunn, a cross and yellow and blue flowers, plus a message, "Rest in peace," all just trying to remember that HART bus driver.
ABC Action News reporter Heather Lee has been following the story all weekend long. She has the victim's concerns coming from his own mouth months before his death.
People have been leaving items of condolence here at the spot where that HART bus driver lost his life. You can see they have flowers and a cross and also a message written in chalk on the ground. It's a tragedy Tampa police are describing as truly unusual. A HART bus driver killed after they say a passenger stabbed him in the neck.
There's absolutely no doubt that yesterday's event was a game changer. Quite honestly.
Hillsborough Transit Authority's new CEO saying it will be an example moving forward as they work on crucial safety changes. But just 5 months ago in December, that same bus driver spoke in front of HART board members about safety concerns, describing how he was previously assaulted on his bus and nothing was done.
It's easy to me, admin is taking care of admin and not taking care of the spokes in the wheel that actually make this company work.
Colin Malloy, the director of risk and safety, saying they took action after that December meeting.
We actually took safety promotion items to the streets at Marion Transit Center, at the streetcar facilities throughout our entire system.
They also plan on meeting with transit systems statewide to come up with ideas to better protect drivers and passengers. ABC Action News spoke to the driver's wife off camera Sunday afternoon. She's heartbroken and says his kids are now without a father. Limmer saying the driver was a hero, safely pulling the bus to the side, protecting other passengers even after being stabbed. HART tells us at this point they do not have a date for that statewide safety meeting, but they say they are working on it and will let us know when it is set. Heather Lee, ABC Action News.
Thank you, Heather. And those safety concerns that she mentioned extending beyond Hillsborough County. I spoke with bus union reps over in Pinellas County who say they are appalled that safety issues have not been addressed throughout the Bay Area. They call themselves sitting ducks.
We get assaulted. It's a very common thing. And we're not surprised what happened to this poor guy. We're not surprised at all. It's a very dangerous job and no one's going to save us but us.
These drivers say if they just had safety enclosures, they believe this weekend's killing would have never happened. The union reps say they're going to a Pinellas Suncoast Transit Authority meeting this Wednesday to demand more money to help keep drivers safe.
This guy just stabbed the bus driver in the neck. Guy just stabbed the bus driver.
An unexpected attack killing a HART bus driver. New tonight, the national movement now underway
to better protect these vulnerable men and women. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jamison Euler.
And I'm Isabel Rosales in for Wendy Ryan. Fellow bus drivers saddened and in fear tonight over their safety.
ABC Action News reporter Heather Lee with the brand new details about what happened on that bus.
The pain of losing a co-worker fresh in the minds of HART bus drivers.
They're in fear right now because of what happened.
Saturday, Tampa Police say 35-year-old Justin McGriff stabbed a HART bus driver in the neck. The motive still not clear. A new report says video surveillance captured McGriff standing by the driver saying, "God bless you," twice before stabbing him.
I would probably be in fear if I had to go do the 400 today or tonight.
Authorities have not publicly identified the driver, but 5 months ago, he told the HART board he was concerned about his safety.
Yes, he was assaulted. He was spit on, hit with a shoe, and he really felt that safety was not an issue for HART.
Tonight, Letitia Jones and other members of the Amalgamated Transit Union 1593 are demanding safety changes.
We want to know we're going to be protected, just like they want to go home to their families. We want to go home to our families as well.
A federal bill that's gaining traction on Capitol Hill is calling for harsher punishments when it comes to bus driver assaults. It would also provide transit systems nationwide funding for safety measures, like glass partitions around drivers.
That was our Heather Lee reporting. HART tells us they want to get with other transit agencies across the state to discuss safety ideas. They don't have a date yet set, though, for that meeting.
Kevin Sablon was behind the wheel of his Pinellas County bus just 2 days after police say a passenger murdered HART bus driver Thomas Dunn.
You don't know who you're picking up. You don't know what they've got on them. You don't know what they're going through.
Sablon says on Monday, a man started arguing with other passengers and disrupting service before asking these odd questions.
Has anybody got knives or guns on the bus? And then he says, you know, you see what happened to that driver in Tampa.
Sablon says right away he sent dispatch an emergency alert, taking that statement as a threat.
I wasn't getting a response, so I finally went open air and I said, look, I need the police. I said, I got an emergency here.
I'm going to say we reacted and responded in the correct way. The lag time is the issue because if you perceive a threat, you want to be responded to right away.
James Bradford, the COO of Pinellas Suncoast Transit Authority, says there's always room for improvement, holding a meeting today with drivers to get feedback on safety.
If we weren't fully awake already, we definitely are now.
This enclosure costs about $5,000, but drivers say it just won't do the job because it's not fully enclosed. They believe it would be a huge waste of money.
Accepting what happened on HART bus route 400 less than 2 weeks ago hasn't been easy for co-workers of Thomas Dunn.
You know, in my mind, I still think he's out there driving. The only thing is that I haven't received his calls that I used to get.
Police say a passenger stabbed Dunn in the neck while he was still behind the wheel, a nightmare scenario that is haunting bus drivers across the nation.
We are afraid. We are, because we don't have security.
One reason dozens of bus drivers and union members were showing up today demanding action.
If it did happen again before we were ready, how would we look at ourselves then?
They stood in solidarity, pleading for glass enclosures on every bus.
If you only bus enough for 50% or even 75%, tell these drivers which ones PSA is going to protect and which ones they're not.
April Murphy, the head of the bus union in Pinellas, says 99% of drivers surveyed just last week want the glass enclosures.
For the 1%, I say too bad. You can scream all you want, but at least you'll be alive to scream and we'll hear you.
Transit leaders in Jacksonville told reporters they are moving ahead with glass enclosures, securing funding back in March. Murphy says they're also discussing immediate safety options too, including operators carrying a 2-ounce bottle of mace.
Just like today, bus drivers and the union here in Pinellas County will be crossing the bay to go to HART's board meeting to support them June 3rd as well.